July 27, 2020, Monday morning. Very good morning from Europe. Good afternoon, good evening, guys, wherever you are. Piotr here, this is Light Forex Global YouTube channel, and we are approaching end of the month. Very slow start of the week when it comes to the calendar, but then plenty of interesting things towards the Wednesday, towards the Thursday going to happen. So without the further delay, let's check the calendar and let's check the few charts right here, right now. Okay, so today we are going to get within the next hour or so, we are going to get Ifo business climate from the Germany, right? And then during the US session we are going to have durable good orders. Tuesday, just the consumer confidence from the US, and Wednesday, well, the interesting things are going to start to happen already during the Tokyo session. We are going to get the CPI out of the Australia. And when it comes to the Australian dollar, well, trying to retest previous week high, as you can see. So we have this swing high we discussed last week, all right? We have the zone based on the blue lines, meaning that there is some kind of the supply based on the weekly chart. My way of thinking is that at least that we didn't finish, if that's the correction, we didn't finish the correction yet, in my opinion. Probably the things I see is gonna be something like 1-to-1 with the possibility of the retests of 0.735-0.70 psychological zone, right? That's what we have. Checking to the left side, and that's 0.7 level. Looks like it's gonna be crucial, some kind of the line in the sand for both bulls and bears. That's how I see the Australian dollar from the daily chart perspective. When it comes to the lower time frame, right, I like what I see here. 1 second. I like this supply from the Thursday, right, and looks like from the intraday perspective that could be the case for the sellers eventually, right? Somewhere close to 71.55, maybe with a little bit of the stop count towards 71.65. Okay, so that's Australian dollar versus American dollar. But interesting things might happen also here. This is Australian dollar versus Japanese yen. Okay, yen is getting stronger and stronger with the dollar. We already moved down below 106, and looks like it's not the end of the fireworks there. So ahead of the inflation number on Wednesday, okay, I'm going to monitor Australian dollar versus yen as well. Interesting thing here, based on the stop count, some kind of the double top, right? Move back towards the end of the previous week, okay? Trying to hold some kind of the support, but there is a big but because of previous Tuesday candle, right? That's what I'm talking about here. Okay, and I like already this open and lower shadow from the last Tuesday, okay? And if we are going to manage to close below these levels, because we were trying to trade below that on Friday, but bulls ends the session higher. If we are going to manage to break this level, that's gonna be quite crucial, because that's previously was some kind of the supply, so now it's working as a demand, right? After the breakout. So if we are going to get back below, the levels around 75. That's also some kind of the psychological level. That might reopen below 75. It might reopen the levels towards 73, 72.50. Talking about this low and that breakout, right? So that's what we might see once 75 is going to be broken. We will see. I'm going to monitor Australian dollar again Wednesday morning during the Tokyo hours. We do have CPI out of the Australia. Then on Wednesday during the European session, without the fireworks, and US session will start with the pending home sales, crude oil inventories, but then the best thing is going to happen the evening, right? FOMC statement, FOMC Federal Funds Rate press conference, everything Wednesday, and just 2 days ahead of the end of the month, right? And probably that's what we're discussing very often. To see the real reaction, it might take 12-24 hours. The Wednesday is gonna be very interesting also from the perspective of the end of the month, because it's T+2. So if you want to make the settlement of your transaction on spot market, then the Wednesday it's gonna be that day, and especially the London fix could be very, very interesting, right? So Wednesday is gonna be the third day when it comes to the market. Of course, it's gonna be dollar related. Dollar is losing the ground again, and with euro dollar breaking 117 and approaching higher levels. Well, what next for the euro dollar? Because right now we are starting to test this particular supply visible to the left side, where previously that was demand, right? With this rally to the upside. Now, from the daily chart perspective, in that case, I would say that finishing the business close to 118 could be the case, and 118.50 as a next target, with psychological 120 also could be in play. Now to the downside, for now, I think that the range of the previous week, right, down to even 114, that could be the case, and we might try to narrow this, and looks like the Thursday high. All right, so yeah, levels close to 1450. That could be the level where we might see some buyers, right? Of course, move back below today's open might be a little bit negative short term. I'm not gonna chase. I'm not gonna run this here. The 1-to-1 is getting closer and closer, and as you can see, if it's the case that we are going to see equal moves, then the levels, the zone I mentioned before, in between 118 and 50, right? So I want to see some kind of the pullback medium term. That was the weekly. I'm sorry. Intraday, when it comes to the euro dollar, it's gonna be better visible to what we made the measure a second ago, right? So there is still a little bit of the space towards 118 on the euro dollar. And from the intraday perspective, when we are looking for some kind of the demand, so of course, no doubt about it, we do have some kind of the demand around the weekly open. So that's the zone, right? And then I would rather wait for, from the intraday perspective, closer towards 1580, right? And then finally, if we are going to make the break of 1530, then 1450, what has been discussed based on the daily chart, could be the place. So buying the dip on euro dollar right now, that's the name of the game. A little bit different story when it comes to the pound dollar. We retested 2840 overnight, right? So we are inside the big weekly supply zone, blue color, right? But from the daily chart perspective, we hit the stops above 2780. We discussed it last week, and attempt to break higher. We'll see where we are going to end up the day. From the buyer's perspective, very similar situation to what we discussed a second ago to the euro dollar. If you are a buyer, somewhere around the weekly open, all right, but then it's not that easy, because I think that then we have to take this as a consolidation, and that 50% of that consolidation is around 2705. So either weekly open, or we are going to make the same distance to the downside, because that's weekly open, run away, run to the upside. If broken, then run to the downside by the same size, could be the name of the game, right? So if we are going to give up as a bulls weekly open, then 2705 could be the name of the game. Now, what about sellers? If you are a seller, you want to see the move below the weekly open, right? And then immediately there should be the chance to join the party, like breaking, retest of 2790, 28, and continuation to the downside. Okay, that's how I see the things when it comes to the cable. Now, Thursday we do have German preliminary GDP, and we have advanced GDP when it comes to the US. And Friday, that's gonna be PMI day, last day of the July. So it's gonna be interesting. So again, FOMC this week, plus GDPs out of the German and US, key when it comes to the calendar. Dollar is losing the ground, euro is gaining, and Australian dollar on the radar. If necessary, I'm going to make the update around the US Open. Guys, don't be trapped. It was my pleasure to start new week with you guys. Take care and see you around.